Welcome to MQuest TV, and I'm your host, Mimi. Blanca Beyar is a successful author, empath, healer, and medium. She inspires others to discover their own strengths and empowerment.
You know what? I could look at two very specific times in my life where, as an observer, I can say that there were moments, a signal, if you may. When I was 9, I suffered from night traumas where I would get up in the middle of the night, yell and scream, speak to people, and my family would tell me about it, and I had no recollection the next day. And I feel now, looking back at that I was being prepared, that I was being spoken to spiritually. I know it sounds a little bizarre, but it's the, it's not only what I feel to be true, but also with working with past life regressions, something that I see often in clients. So I think that was a pivotal moment in my childhood. And then, of course, later on in my 30s, when the real calling came, I just started to have angelic communication because I was restless and I was in transition from a career. But quickly following that curiosity, I became extremely ill. And I was ill for almost 2 years, incapacitated. And I always say, that doesn't have to be a status quo in order for us to be on a spiritual path. But I truly, personally believe that it was a pivotal point for initiations and preparation, without a doubt. As a matter of fact, during that time period that I was ill, many of the masters, including the Master Jesus, came to mentor me. And that's how my channeling abilities began.
You might have been letting go of a lot of stuff that might have, you needed to let go in order to go on that path.
Absolutely. Right. Karma that we come with. We all come here with karma. Karma has a bad rap. Karma is really, opportunities for growth, and experiences that we signed up on a soul level to complete that growth. And so sometimes when we have a calling to be of divine service, a channeler or a healer or whatever, we need to transmute a lot of that karma so that we can be an open vehicle. So I totally resonate with what you're saying, that the illness is not, a punishment. So that's, we want to make that clear to the viewers to the listeners, but more so a venue by which helps us to transmute karma so that we can be a more readily and open vessel.
Right. It's almost like opening up the way so that you can allow a higher vibrational frequency to come through with the messages that they need to give you at that point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's almost like we can see the illusion of a pipe that's obstructed, and of course the water is not going to flow properly. And so, in order for that water, that energy to flow, we need to be as clear as possible.
Exactly. Now, when you said that you said you were hearing things at a very early age. Did you know what it might have been at that point?
I had no idea. And, this is something that we could all benefit from, especially if we have children. I had no idea. And, I had siblings. I was mocked. And my mother, concerned, took me to see a psychiatrist. And I remember, sitting by the coffee table in the office and the psychiatrist telling my mom, she's perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with her. And having this amazing feel, this trauma feeling of saying, oh my God, my mother thinks there's something wrong with me, And so I wasn't aware of what was going on, but I knew that it wasn't good because mom thought it was a problem, that there was something wrong with me. And that's how we begin to suppress, our calling, even at a young age. And, it goes back to the dogma that, today, thank goodness, and thanks to people like you, who are, bringing into the forefront spirituality and the paranormal and, just cosmic matters. It was a stigma. It was something that was taboo. It was something that was voodoo. It was something that was, evil, or any of those labels that didn't make it a positive thing. And so, up until recently, we were in the closet, right?
That's very true. For many years, I didn't feel comfortable saying what I thought. In fact, there were times when I did when I was younger, and kids would just make fun of me. And so I learned to shut up after a while, and then it wasn't until, maybe in the most recent years, I said, I don't give a damn. I'm just going to say whatever I think, and, and that's why I'm just doing what I feel that I need to do,
And that's beautiful, because you're giving a platform to many others to come and share their truth. And it's time, because we need to get past whatever stigma there is, because at the end of the day, there's something very important that as light workers we need to share, and that many people are seeking to experience. There are many people who are seeking ways on, help on how to heal and how to develop.
Yeah.
And so if we don't come out of the closet, then how are they going to find that help?
And, I see the signs now, and I see a lot more people depressed, and they don't feel comfortable in their skin. They don't know what to do with their lives. And I feel it's especially prevalent now, especially since the planetary shift that we're in the midst of.
I feel that, back in 2012, we were clearly told that the old paradigm was coming to an end. And, there was a lot of talk back then about the world ending, something catastrophic happening. And it wasn't ever about that. Unfortunately, because many thought that it was that, it gave spirituality, yet again, a bad reputation. They have no idea what they're talking about. The truth is that the new paradigm is a new level of consciousness and a new level of experiencing.
That makes sense, yeah.
And so at the end of 2012, the old paradigm really, came to a completion. And as a result, anyone who wasn't prepared, ready to move on to the next level, is basically standing on a fragmented part of that foundation.
Wow.
And that word fragmented becomes very important, because a fragment is something that's not stable. And so it goes back to your comments about people, being in disarray and in confusion, and because they are not standing in a stable platform. The only way that they can is by evolving.
Thank you for watching MQuest TV. Be sure to look for part 2 of our interview with Blanca. There are many more segments coming up, so keep watching. Please visit mquestmedia.com, where you can find articles, special events, and our monthly internet radio show Hidden Mysteries with my co-host, Reverend Maria D'Andrea.